Why are we here?
Why are we here?
What are people watching?
Many late Friday night conversations, mate. Do you know what? I was just saying that to the vlog then a minute ago. I was like, we've been having these conversations on the phone every Friday night for like, what do you think? You said it was 3 years.
I think it's about 3 years.
Putting the world to rights. No, I'm only joking.
Every week. Almost every week.
I think it's just a culmination of flipping... I don't know, man. Every DJ out there has got like their own look on the industry and the stuff that goes on between it. We all talk amongst ourselves. You see people posting stuff on Facebook and social media every Sunday, Monday. It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah, the weekly day, every Sunday there's a DJ. There's actually there's about 8 DJs, all different ones every week. And every Sunday there's always complaints on Facebook statuses about the Saturday night. I
used to be really bad for it, you know. I used to preach so bad on Facebook. I've kind of pulled back on it now, but I can see why people do it, man, because there's not many people you can talk to.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the unsociable hours that we do. A lot of people don't really look at the ins and outs of what goes on. A lot of people just think we play songs and like that's pretty much it, but there's so much more to it, man. And I just think the fact that we've been talking for so long, obviously you live down in Brighton, I'm up in Manchester, we're so far apart, but we talk all the little bits in between, like we conversate about it.
Yeah.
And we have good conversations, man.
Well.
we do.
Yeah. No, it's true.
We must have spoke on the phone for like 100+ hours combined in the last couple of years.
No, it's definitely, we basically do probably at least an hour a week.
It's an hour on a Friday night.
Bro, it's over 150
People are gonna
hours
think we've got
of
a
talk
bromance going on. It's a full-on Stylus and Dubl bromance right now.
I speak to you on the phone more than I speak to Leanne.
That's true.
That's mad, but I live with Leanne. I don't have to call her.
Yeah, I don't speak to my wifey too tough on the phone anyway.
But yeah, I think this project's it's like you said, discussing the fact that every single week the DJs are out in force with something to say about certain things. But also, like you said, this industry, like the DJing side of it all, there's so much stuff that people don't see. And even young DJs starting out, they just see what's on Instagram. And do you know what I mean? Other people even to a point, DJs that might be suffering because they haven't got so much work on or whatever, they see everyone else stunting and everyone else like, oh shit, everyone else is in the game and I'm barely paying the rent. But they don't see the fact that everyone else that's in the game is doing all this other stuff in the background to make ends meet, etc., etc.
There's so much more to it now, man. Like it's not just the DJ.
That's why I started vlogging. That was the main reason I started the vlog, was because I was actually I was kind of upset with the amount of work I was putting in and not getting a return on it. I wanted to show everyone what goes into what we do.
How's that gone so far? Guy's been daily vlogging for
over a year. No, over a year now. But I had to slow it down. It wasn't daily vlogs. After I moved house, and then I couldn't for there was a week where I had no internet, so I couldn't upload.
Yeah.
And then you just get busy doing other stuff, and it's impossible to keep that work rate up.
I think there's different types of DJs as well, you know. Like we're very proactive. So we always want to fill all our spare time with something, whether it's creating content, whether it's doing other stuff in the DJ world. You do a lot of interviews, like we both vlog. Some people might not want that. Some people are in it for different reasons. Some DJs just want to go play their tunes and get a book, or some want more than that. Like for me, it was a brand thing. Like I tried to build Stylus as a brand, so people know when they see the name. It was more than just going out and just playing a couple of records. Like I've tried to build a whole enterprise around it. So the vlogging, like making sure all the visuals are crisp. Then there's doing it like I do events. Now I'm doing more creative stuff. So it's more of a, I don't know, man. It's definitely changed over the years because it wasn't like that when I started. And we're both the same age range. There wasn't we didn't even have social media back then.
When I started as a DJ, if you told me back then I'd be playing house music or drum and bass or grime or anything other than like Talib Kweli and Gangstar, any commercial kind of hip hop, anything mainstream, like if you told me back then that that's what I'd be playing, I'd have shot you right down. But everything is changed.
You was like predominantly hip hop, innit?
But like underground hip hop though, quirky stuff that I'd go into the record store and search the box that was covered in the most dust because no one looks in it type. Do you know what I mean? For the vinyl, and like, I was just into finding off-key, real quirky, random hip hop that no one was playing. But obviously, that's not the stuff that gets you the club bookings. That's not the stuff that gets you. I mean, some people have made good work out of it radio-wise, but it's not how you progress as a DJ, really, especially from the early days. Not in my area, anyway.
I think it's just the progression of music in general as well. Like, where it's at now compared to 10, 15 years ago, the way streaming's come in, just the way genres have evolved as well. Like, I was a garage and house DJ when I started. Like, that's what I played. And it was... You wasn't going to get a booking around my ends playing garage and house when I first came through. Yeah. I was always into R&B. I was always into hip hop. My mum and dad used to listen to it like hard, so that's what I grew up on. So that was always in the back of my mind. But it was the EZ Garage Nation stuff that got me, man. I was in a crew in school called the Deja Vu crew, yeah. Bunch of MCs. I used to spit a couple bars as well.
Yes, Stylus has got bars.
Yo, man, you got a couple bars. MC Rocket, bruv.
MC Rocket. Why didn't you just keep that name? DJ Rocket.
So that's how I started doing that. But then obviously when I got to the age where I wanted to go out and play, there was no market for it. There was a big market in London, Milton Keynes. They were doing all the big garage raves. So that's when I branched over to the R&B and the hip hop. I'm now just fully open format. But yeah, you just kind of evolve with it, man. Evolve with the times.
Evolve or be extinct.
Unless you're a hardcore specialist, which I fully respect that. Like, you've got specialist DJs that just pick their lane and stick at it.
There's some people that, especially in drum and bass, they actually still have a very strong career using vinyl.
Yep.
Like actual real vinyl records. Like some young DJs are going to be watching this like, what's a vinyl? Like, I've typed vinyl into Spotify. I can't see it anywhere.
Oh my God.
But yeah, there's some DJs out there now that still, I mean, I know it's in the drum and bass scene, there's still quite a lot using the vinyls. You must remember the days of turning up at the club with vinyl.
Yeah, crates, man.
And you know how I used to do it as well? I used to pick through every single time. So in Serato nowadays, you just have your crates in it, and they just stay your crates. You add one or two to them a week. You take one or two out, whatever. I never really take music out of my crates, so they're a mess. But like back then,
guy's so lazy.
I'd go to the club. So when I get back from the club, I have 3 record boxes full of vinyl, and I'd unpack them all back into the shelf alphabetically. And if I had a beat DJ booking the next day, I would then hand pick the selection again, a different selection. Like, they were crazy days. Imagine, like, I don't know if I'd survive now with just a vinyl collection.
There was a lot of planning that went in back then. Like, now you can go roll with all the crates, everything's there. 10,000 songs on the laptop. Draw for any of them, search for any of them. Like, you only had so much space in the car, so much space in the crates.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have a car when I was playing with vinyl, so I was traveling on the Metrolink with 2 or 3 crates. And my first couple sets, I was getting 20, 30 quid, man. Like, that's gone by the time I get home, because I'm traveling there, I'm traveling home, I'm getting a bite to eat after the club or whatever. So yeah, I do miss them times, but you know, times move on, man. I'm not against any of the new shit, so it is what it is. But I think we've done a lot between us in our careers, man. Like, I'd like to think like we've been through the run and the mill. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. Like, you're smashing your interviews, I'm kind of doing my little thing up here. So like, sharing this whole our experiences, like the conversations that we have, like we've seen and done enough to be able to sit here and speak our views on a lot of the topics within the industry, I think.
Yeah, like, we've definitely been out
without blowing our own trumpets, obviously.
I like to think actually we're at a good point where I feel like with both of us, we've had this conversation before where we're basically the same DJ but from different areas. Mm-hmm. Like the type of stuff we play, the style that we have, the way we approach our work ethic and everything, and even what we want from this business and what we want from the game and how we go about getting it. We basically do the same thing.
Yeah, it's true.
We're both seasoned enough to know what we're talking about. I don't even know what you just said then, that went over my head.
I'm joking.
But we're both seasoned enough to talk about all of this stuff. but we're not old enough yet to be old and miserable about it.
Yeah, that's it. Like we don't want to sit here like putting the world to rights and ranting on everyone. Like that's not the point of it. Like,
No.
If we can give our angle and share our experience, and
I'm excited, bruv.
I'm excited, man.
And you know what's mad? And this is definitely going back to what we said about having the phone conversations.
Yes. Practice. That was the practice.
Exactly. Because if you think about it, yeah, what have we done now? We've only ever done 2 radio broadcasts together. And that was both in London when you came to Bang Radio and did, I think...
It was Bang and one extra, wasn't it? We did the 2.
It was Bang Radio, yeah, when you came onto my show on Bang Radio. And that was the first time we ever did a link on radio together. Smooth sailing. And then we did the Underground Kings show on my Extra Talent. It won Extra.
I'm trying to think of the Bang one, man. I can't even remember it now off the top of my head, bro.
You literally just passed through, and I think
sat on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
And it was just a couple conversations and just talking about some stuff.
I remember.
But given that we've only been on radio together twice, we've only presented or like, I think we should do all right. So we're obviously aiming to do this like as a weekly event. Every Wednesday we've decided 8 o'clock.
Wednesdays 8 p.m.
The Talkover show, the Talkover podcast.
The Talkover show. Are we a show or a podcast, man?
Pod show.
We're like a visual.
Showcast.
Yeah, we're like a bit of both, innit? It's like a podcast, but visual. We're like a visual cast.
Yeah.
You can see our pretty faces. This is the first time, like, I've never done a podcast before, innit? Like, I do my weekly mixes, done radio. Same for you. This whole sitting down topical stuff is kind of new, man. So, yeah, we'll iron it out as we go.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope there's weeks like this is the mission we've got is we live 400 miles from each other.
True stories.
So the consistency is going to be a key, and this is going to be something there. This is going to test our proper work ethic, bruv. There's going to be some weeks you've got to come down to Maidstone.
I'm going to go to Kent, man. This guy lives 4 trains away.
Yeah, that's why I drove up here today.
Four trains away, and I walked through a couple of fields.
I'm not even doing the trains.
And you reach Double's yard.
I want people to interact with this as well. Like what I want to get out of this is I want to build like a proper community, like a forum basically, where where DJs that have opinions on stuff and they get into the topics that we decide to talk about, they can get in the comments and talk to each other and actually just put their opinion to us.
It's like a community thing, isn't it, man?
Exactly. But if I say something, we've got so many topics to talk about, but if I say something that people disagree with, I want them to get at me about it.
Yeah, that's that.
I want them to jump straight in the comments and be like, Double, you're a dickhead for saying that. Like, why are you saying that? Don't say that. You're a prick. Like, yeah, that's what I want. What do you want to get from this?
Some of the topics, that's going to happen because the DJ world it's a very outspoken industry anyway. Everyone has their own views, and there's a lot of different views.
Yeah, but I think I agree that everyone has their own views, but I don't agree that everyone puts them across. We're in
That's true.
An age where people are very careful about what they say online, because once you said it online, although it comes and goes very quickly in terms of like trending and stuff, once you put it online, it's there. It's out for people to see, and people will remember you by that. So I think some people won't say what they think.
Now you just said that, I've definitely like been that guy for a while. Like, obviously maneuvering around some of the bigger stations and the bigger brands. Like, there's certain ways to kind of like hold yourself in social media and in the public eye, which is one of the reasons why I never done anything like this.
Yeah.
Or I don't speak too much, because it's too easy to ruffle people's feathers these days, man. So everyone treads carefully.
Yeah.
But someone's got to talk about this stuff. Like, it's all good going on Facebook and saying it every week, but like the same thing you just said, I want to reach the masses of DJs, and not even just in England, because there's going to be DJs all over the world going through the same stuff.
Yeah.
Guy in America or a dude in Africa or Australia, whatever. DJs all over the world are going to be going through the same stuff. So there's no reason why, like you say, it's a community thing.
Yeah.
That's what I want to try and get out of it. I want every DJ to come together, share their stories, share their experiences. If they don't agree with stuff, say it how it is, man. Like, because that's what we're gonna do on this podcast,
bro.
Like,
this
is just a warm up, bro.
I'm not holding back now. Like, it's exactly like you said. I've spent a lot of time building my online profile, And I've given my opinion on certain things. And even like you say with the interviews, like I don't mind asking raw questions with certain people, brother.
Yeah, you're used to it, man. You're a veteran.
I've asked some mad questions, some of which I haven't been able to put online. But do you know what I mean? So I'm not afraid to say those kind of things. But at the same time, I have been very careful because I have been in that position where I'm like, maybe I'll get handpicked by one of the bigger brands to come on board.
Yeah. So you're always careful.
And so you're quite careful. But now I'm just at a point where I'm like, I just want to do my own thing. Like I want to be outspoken about certain things and I want to have these conversations, and exactly like you said, someone has to have them.
I think after 10 years of holding it down as well, like
it's about to
for the people that know me up close, I am pretty outspoken anyway, away from the camera and the public eye.
Yeah, I know that.
But then you hold yourself in a certain way. Like, I'm not saying I'm a bad guy or anything, like I'm not a bad person, but there comes a point where you've just got to speak your mind and put it out there, man.
That's it.